Good afternoon, everyone. As we are closing in, as is Hashem, on what is going to be the last day of the year, of course, everybody says that this is really so important. Hakol hoylech achar achsaim. Everything goes after the finale, after the end, the last Marav of the year. Make sure to say over Kriya Shema Lamita, Shalom Bayis. Everything is magnified now. I mean, what the Welt says over that we say in the Mincha tomorrow, Uvarech Shnaseinu Kashana Matayvais. How much is there left? The year's over. But even the last moments of the year, how important are the last moments of the year to use them correctly? We'll have slichas here tomorrow morning at 7. Very important slichas, the last slichas of Tavshin Pei Daled. I'll be saying slichas in the morning here. You're invited to join us. And there is a minig, otik, ancient minig, to fast tomorrow until Chatzais. What's brought down, Rav Chaim brings it down. Rav Chaim doesn't bring down things without sourcing them. Rav Chaim says that one could remove a third of the year's sins by tomorrow's half-day fast. Makes it a very attractive thing to fast. I mean, it's that's even a dieter that loses weight. This is more exciting than losing weight. This is a real opportunity. I will tell you yet that the Reb Chaim didn't fast because we all know that on Erev Pesach he made a siyum on Shas, Bavli, Yerushalmi, Zoyer. The halfway mark was Erev Rosh Hashanah. So on Erev Rosh Hashanah, he made a siyum on Kiddushin, which was half of Shas, and as long as the Chazayin Ish lived, the Chazayin Ish attended his siyum. He made a siyum on half Shas, and he ate. But those of us that are not making a siyum on half Shas, if might be one or two, those of us that are not making it, there is an inyan to fast tomorrow in yeshiva. I remember we all fasted on Erev Rosh Hashanah, even though you say Bachrim, it shouldn't stay they're learning, but it's a very, very chashuv a fast.
This is the daytime fast?
Daytime, only from the morning. Just when you get up, don't have a coffee before you daven. That's the key, That's only from the morning. You could eat crepe Zuzettes tonight, whatever you want. There's also a minig brought down to buy a knife tomorrow that's non-serrated. That's also a very big Hasidic minig. In many of the shuls, they sell them. The shamash sells them. The idea is that the shame of parnasa is chatoch, and the reason why it's a non-serrated knife is because the serrated knife is a knife of the Malach HaMavis. So that's also, but you have to have a little bit of Hasidic blood to do that minig. Everybody goes to the mikveh tomorrow, and it's a very, if you know of someone that you wronged, there's an inyan to ask mechila, because why wait till Yom Kippur? Why wait till you have to repeal the din? Ask for mechila now. There's also a minig to be marba b'tzedakah tomorrow. It's because tzedakah is mavirin esrei agzeira, so there's an inyan. So if you have envelopes, for example, that you want to send out from different tzedakahs, it's a good day to do it. Also, it's a great day to give in the morning tomorrow, or by mincha even, to give in the envelopes with the pledges of Adapt the Kailo, that would be a very good way to go into the Yom Hadin. When I have a tabulation, I didn't even open any of the envelopes yet. It's a little bit busy. But I will try to give an item like some kind of an accounting of where we're holding, maybe even on Rosh Hashanah. Okay, now to the business at hand, to learn Torah, to be Mekayim the mitzvah of a Dibarta Bam La'asais Nachas Ruach L'Yotzreinu. We are holding by Mishna Yud Aleph and Yud Beis. Wow. We're going to finish the third parak. I'm recording now because I have to get ahead with the Mishna Yomis for the camera, since we're going to miss like 4 days of recording. So I'm doing one set now, and I'm going to do another set later. Don't worry, I'll do that over with you tomorrow. But it's TorahAnytime.com, Kol HaLashon Business. So we're dedicated by the Fisher family, L'Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We're dedicated to L'Nishmas David ben Chaim, L'Fu Shalem Rafel Yomish ben Chayesar, for the schus of Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yehudis, by Yol Klugman and family, and L'Fu Shalem Rafel Meir ben Chayesar. Let me add one other very important thing that I didn't mention. We all should learn, daven, say Tillim, for what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. Today was a very difficult people for those living in Eretz Yisrael. You know, usually we say that people in Eretz Yisrael, in Yerushalayim, they don't even know what's going on. We know here better than what they do with what's going on. That wasn't the case today. My chaver Yitzhak Kurtzer told me that he was on the phone with his grandchildren that were traumatized by going into the miklat. They had to go into the miklat in Yerushalayim several times. And, the miklat isn't a nice, beautiful fallout shelter. It's an old room with bikes in it. It's scary for little children. It's very scary. Also, I got a phone call. There's a taxi driver that I know that I help out, because taxi drivers now are going through very hard time. There's just no business. No business. He called me up. He says he just wants to tell me he's in the airport trying to do some business, and he says they're shooting at the airport. It's really frightening. El Al was completely grounded today. El Al. I mean, that's people can't get back from Uman. People that went to Uman can't get back. And people that have Yom Tov plans can't get to Eretz Yisrael. They're trying for reservists that they need, that they should get back. And it's really, they're shooting these long-range missiles from Iran that are getting from Iran to Eretz Yisrael in 12 minutes. It's really, really very frightening. Because the Rebbeinu Shalom is protecting us, it's one of these missiles could hit anything. I mean, in Jaffa, people were killed in Jaffa by a terrorist. That's by a terrorist. That's an isolated incident. It's Yiddish blood. It's terrible. But besides all these missiles that are falling, so we learn for that as well. So Hamafkid Mois Eitzel Shulchani. Here, Yaakov deposits money by a money changer. Now, it could be that since he knows that a money changer needs the cash for business, it might be that he allows the money changer to use it in the meantime. How are we going to know? He's a quiet guy, Yaakov. He didn't say. Im Tzurin, if he bundled it up and sealed it up, lo yishtamish b'hem. The money changer can't use it. The fikach im avdu, if it got lost or stolen, ein chayav b'achar yusan. The money changer is not responsible because he didn't use it. Mutarin, if however Yaakov gave it to him loose, that's a sign that Yaakov is okay with him using it. Yishtamish b'hem, he could use it. Then lefikach im avdu, then if it gets lost, since he had a use from it, so he's like a shomer sacha, then chayav b'achar yusan, then he's responsible. What about if it's a grocer? So a grocer is less than a regular person. Well, no, first it says Eitzel Balabayas. If he leaves it by a regular homeowner, he leaves it by Jack, then what does Jack have to do with his money? Whether it's Bain Srur and Bain Mutarin, whether it's tied, whether it's loose, Lo Yishtamish Ben. Jack has no right to use it. Lefikach Im Avdu, if it gets lost, since he had no use from it, Ein Achai Bachri Yusuf. He's not responsible. But what if he leaves it by a grocer? A grocer needs change more than Jack, but he needs it less than a money changer. So that's a machlokes. Chenveni kebalabayis. It's like a balabayis that he can't touch it even if it's loose. Rabbi Yehuda mechenveni kishulchani. Chenveni, since a grocer is always giving change, he's like a shulchani that if it's loose, he could use it. Now we need a mischievous fellow. Michal Avram is looking very mischievous there with his new shtender. Where do you think you got a new shtender from? Right? You should use it in good health. Yeah, it was a good place I sent you to, right? Yeah. So what happened over here is Reb Funfeder gave Michal Avram a deposit. Now, Michal Avram, a deposit is hands off. He left it to you for safekeeping, not to use. So, let's say he was Sheleach Yad. Let's say he misappropriated. He had sticky fingers. So, let's say Reb Funfeder left him a cow or a sheep. So, Beis Shammai Oimrim Yilke B'chaser U'V'Yaser. Beis Shammai says we throw the brook at Michal Avram, whether it gets less. That means that it was a sheep that had wool, and Michal Avram misappropriated and sheared the wool, so now it's less. He has to give him back the sheep and the wool. On the other hand, if you misappropriated the sheep and then it got wool, he has to give him back the sheep and the wool, even though he misappropriated. So that's the chaser, whether it got less, or b'yaser, or whether it got more. Beis Hillel says, Kishas Hitzah. Michal Avram's responsibility is at the time that he misappropriated. So if he misappropriated, it was without wool, he has to return him a sheep without wool. If it was with wool on it, he has to return him the value of a sheep with wool on it. Rabbi Akiva Aimer Kishas HaTfiyah. The halacha is he has to return it the way it was when Reb Funfeder brought the claim against him in court that he misappropriated it. Now, HaChoyshev L'Shloyach Yod B'Pikad. Let's say he only intended to misappropriate it. Now, how do we know that he intended to misappropriate it? Because he said in front of my shver, I'm going to take this. Right? So it was only dvarim. So the Gemara says, the Beis Shammai says, from the moment he intended to misappropriate it, he's chayiv, even if there was an einus, because he's a ganev, and a ganev is chayiv even an einus. Beis Hillel says what he says he's going to do, that doesn't count until he actually takes it, because that's what the pasuk says. When he stretches his hand out and takes it, right? He swears that he didn't extend his hand with his friend's property. So he's only responsible when he actually misappropriates it. Now, the Gemara explains Beis Hillel that what he does determines how far his responsibility is. Let's say Reb Funfeder deposited by him a barrel of wine. Ketzad, heat sachavyus. Michal Avram likes a nice drink before he goes to sleep. And here he has a whole barrel of wine. So he tilted the barrel, and he took from it a nice cup of wine. It's aged wine, good wine. Right? He had a good sleep. And then Vinishbara. And then the barrel broke. Anoinus, the barrel broke. Got hit by lightning. So he only is chayav for the revius that he misappropriated, because he didn't make a kinyan on the barrel. He just tilted it. So ain't a mishalom el revius. But if he picked it up, you shouldn't have done that, b'chol Abraham. He picked it up, agva kaina b'chol makam. He picked it up. He picked it up and he took a revius. Then he misappropriated the whole barrel. Ooh, that's a lot of money. A lot of shtendas. V'nishbara, and it broke. Mishalom ve'kula, he has to pay Reb Funfetter for the whole barrel. The Rabbi said we should be zeicher to learn together the next year in complete gesund and menuchas nefesh. Reb Chanani ben Akash Amarat HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zaka, he says, Yisrael afiku chebelem Torah mitzvah, shenem adinoi chavetz man tzidkai, yagdul Torah v'yadeh.